Hey, this is Chugg, and in this video we're going to be looking at Anarki and the bridge to rail jump. Now this is going to be a really focused video. There is a lot about Anarki I will not go over, but I just want to focus on one little point that no one else mentioned, which would have really helped me understand how to make this jump easier for myself. Okay, so I'll just start by saying that if you know how to do this jump, if you can do this jump only by setting up somewhere like here, and then performing it that way, I can help you. If you're someone who is completely free to come in at come in from this angle, if you can come in from this angle at all and do the jump, then turn off the video. I've got nothing new to say to you. And if you can't do it at all, obviously stay. Alright, so what are we actually trying to do? We're trying to build speed, obviously, to make the jump. We need to jump from a reasonable point somewhere in this vicinity. Okay. And we want our momentum pointed in this direction. It can be pointed a little bit further to the right and then compensate further to the left and then compensate to the right, but preferably we want to be aimed at the railgun. So if we can do all those three things with our inputs, we will make the jump. So the reason that this works is because when you start here, you engage the forward and right strafe, you move your mouse at the right speed, your character will always move in this arc, and it will set you up to jump from the right place. You'll be looking basically at the right spot, and you'll have enough speed. So it completes all the check marks, but you don't understand what you're actually doing, what fundamental mechanics of Anarki go into that. So how can you do that from other spots? Okay. So first we'll start with speed. How does Anarki build speed? Well, there's air control, so we'll just show that here. So if I'm just moving at 320, and I start to do this, I start to move my mouse and strafe key in the same direction, we start to build speed. Just notice how fast it is. It's actually relatively slow. You can easily see the unit column being, like, you can clearly see the units ascending. It's very slow by comparison to some of his other ways. So now we'll look at ground acceleration with the strafe key. You can see we hit 500 basically instantly. It's much faster than air control. However, you don't than air acceleration, I should say. There is another way, which is wall riding. It's called wall riding. I didn't learn anything about this. A friend just told me about it one day, because he played other games where it existed, where if you look into the wall and you use the forward and strafe key, you start to accelerate. So there, I only got up to 400, but if you look deeper into the wall, you can see you hit these weird maximums. And I don't understand how this works, but that's just there, just so you can be aware of it. There may be ways to use it, like if you did it here, and then like come around the corner. Maybe that's a cool trick. I'm not good at Anarki, and I'm not able to do that, so that's for someone else to explore. Okay, and finally, the most important way to accelerate is to just use the strafe keys. Now if we notice, if I'm just tapping forward, you can see that I'm flashing 320. I'm hitting maximum base speed by just tapping. And this was the key that I needed. This is the thing that was sort of overlooked. So that when you're, say, positioned here, if you tap forward, you get up to maximum speed, then you do the circle jump, you'll have more speed to build off of. So if you just stand here and you use forward and right, yeah, you can barely make it. That was a pretty good one. Normally you fall shorter than that, but yeah, I'll just come in again. Oh, that time okay, that was muscle memory kick again. Essentially, if you only use forward and right ground accel, you won't get enough. Okay, so this is awkward. Typically, it won't work, but that time it did for some reason. So what you want to do is to accelerate to full speed and then do the circle jump. And now, watch as I come up here, and it won't work. All right, so set up roughly here. You can, as I did at the beginning, you can come in from this angle. You get to full speed, and then yeah, see? But that's mechanical input. I like actually mechanical input error. I bumped into the wall. It's, as I said, not good at Anarki. This is just a fact about his mechanics that helped me to be able to do this much more reliably than before. So as long as you utilize these two ways of gaining acceleration, of using forward only and then the strafe, adding the strafe key, that'll build up enough speed. So that's the first thing we need. What do we need now? We need to jump from the right spot, aimed at the right direction. So as I come in from this spot, I need to engage the left strafe key at the right moment so that my arc turns and ends here. So again, it comes back to what I described with slash, visualization, and just timing the right spot to engage the strafe key will make it much more reliable. Okay? So this way, you're not throwing yourself at, it's important to think about these things when you're learning, so that you're not just throwing yourself at the corner, just hoping to maybe hit it. It's like, okay, I did it, hooray, but sometimes you fall and you don't know why you fall. Like, what did I do differently? It can be often hard to separate and to really figure out the differences. But yeah, focus on pressing the forward key just a fraction before you engage the strafe key, and that'll really help you out. Okay? So in general terms, I want to bring this back. So this is Anarki specifically, and this jump. This is how I learned how to play Slash. I learned the ways that she can accelerate, and then I structured the different curves and placed them such that I would make the jumps. So with Anarki here, I'm focused on this point when I engage the left strafe key. If I'm just throwing myself at it, coming in at this angle, you'll see that I won't have the arc to build up enough speed, and if I'll probably hit this wall, maybe I'll overturn and get there, and it's just messy. So it's important to know and understand what's actually going on. So this gives me more of an arc. I turn more, like I'm on the ground for longer while accelerating, and I'll actually make the jump. Okay? So if you're playing Slash, playing Solag, this is how you learn to find the right lines to take. Beyond that, there are also mechanical things that I'm doing wrong. When I'm in the air, I typically have my crosshair static because I've done the 90-degree jump, because that's just my muscle memory. In reality, you should do the jump and then air acceleration, not air acceleration, just strafe jump acceleration, that kind of normal forward and left, because that'll build up more speed as you fly through the air, as well as not losing speed when you land. There are many things that I do wrong with Anarki, and it's why I don't play him. But yeah, okay, I digress. I just wanted to mention that one point because the other videos didn't explain that as the core reason as to why this jump is easier. And people who've played CPMA, maybe they know all this already. Maybe there are plenty of other videos that describe this. I'm not aware of them. This is just something that I found for myself that was good for me, and hopefully it's good for you. Anyway, try to take the lesson of outlining what your goals are with your movement, and figuring out ways to manipulate your different options in order to achieve that. That's how you get better at movement with any character given any terrain. Okay? So I hope this is helpful, and see you later.